Alright, so welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, the hardest career series. Today's episode we're going to be performing the first attempt at a manned flyby of the Moon. So we're going to be using a Mercury spacecraft. These missions, these flyby missions I'll be conducting will be the final times we're using a Mercury spacecraft. However, we've got Mercury 12 on Pad B, and we've got a UTV, Unmanned Target Vehicle, on Pad A. We'll go to Pad A first. We'll launch UTV into low Kerbal orbit, 150 kilometers again, just like we've launched Val into for the previous episode, for the rendezvous and docking mission. Once we pack that on low Kerbal orbit, we'll then head back to Pad B and launch Mercury 12. Now, Mercury 12 then rendezvous and hard dock with the UTV. Then we're going to use the UTV's main propulsion unit to boost Mercury 12 on the flyby of the Moon. Now, Rayson is going to be flying this mission because we've got a training mission, a training contract. Yeah, there we go. So we've got to reach an equatorial orbit around Kerbin and then perform a flyby of the Moon. So that's going to cost me 75,000. It's going to cost us, I should say, the space program, 75,000. So I'm not going to make any money out of that, but we might get a world's first. We might do. Okay, so I said to Pad A, launch the UTV into 150 by 150 circularized orbit, and we'll come back here to Pad B and launch Mercury 12. Okay, so just about to circularize, just finishing up. It's very, very unstable for some reason. About to lose this stage anyway. So circularize at about 150 kilometers, as I said. And then we'll head straight back. Okay. Well, that's that for that stage. Let's let that go. Very unstable though. And there's no reaction wheel on this. I forgot to put one on. 150... 151.9, almost 152. Well, never mind. 130. So I'll head round to the upper axis, push the periaxis up to 150 or so, and then we shall head straight back to Pad B at the Space Centre. Okay, so initial climb completed. Just about to enter into the vacuum of space. I'm going to finish circularising about 140 or so kilometres circularised, and we'll see exactly where we need to be. We need to be higher or lower in the map view compared to the UTV. Okay, so it would appear that the target vehicle is behind us. So I want to push the approach just a little bit higher. Not too high, just like before, just like the previous episode when we tried to rendezvous. About 160. Of course, we still need to push the periapsis back up, but I'll keep the periapsis about equal to where the target is, 152. So it shouldn't take too long. Might take an hour, might take about an hour to rendezvous and dock. Not much longer than that, I don't think. Okay, we should be in an intercept point, a rendezvous point, about 4 kilometres in about 40 minutes. So let's take a look at the radiation levels. This is very important because obviously we're playing with Kerbal Health. And it's taking 3,190 per day. We've got no radiation shielding now. That would cut that down by about half. Actually, no, it wouldn't. It would cut down about 50% of what a normal full-size cabin would actually provide. This only provides 0.5, as you can see on the value there. So that's not too good. 10 days, 5 hours, 70 minutes and 22 seconds. I'll be very horrified if it takes us 10 days, 5 hours, 70 minutes and 22 seconds to actually, do this flyby mission. It shouldn't take anything like that. Okay, let's get rid of that. Of course, it is cramped as well. That does affect his health more than the radiation does. Radiation isn't actually affecting his health right now. None of them actually received anything like a lethal dose or anything like what you would probably get on the beach. So in the Caribbean. Okay, so about 39 minutes now. Time to periapsis. Okay, so now the fun part begins. So I've locked onto this target with the docking port alignment indicator, and I'm controlling from here. So relative velocity down. A little bit of a kick. Get close a little bit faster. That's yes off. So I've got a few Delta V in this LH2 tank, so I'm going to use that. Ooh. Okay. C velocity, closure velocity is 0.04, or relative velocity actually. It doesn't really tell you when you're leaving or sort of moving away or towards the target. Okay, RCS is off. Okay, we'll move around. So we'll sort the nose position first. Put to low sensitivity. So yeah, I think because we're so low in the so low towards the atmosphere, we're quite a low orbit. I think what's going on is that the performance issue is where it's pausing quite a lot. It's down to the fact that these clouds do cause for some reason performance issues. So if you're too close to the atmosphere, it renders the clouds a little bit too much detail. Well, I believe this is actually starting to roll off slightly. Okay, so it's RCS. Also, we need the monoprop for the fuel cell. Okay. So we're close enough. Phew. So yeah, in hindsight, a reaction wheel on a probe, if on a dock with it, does help quite a lot. Okay, so we're going to orientate. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Control point, control from here. Reversed. So we're going to use this propulsion unit to power this. Yeah, without that, get rid of that. If it lets me. There we go. So I'll leave this thruster unpowered or turned off for now. Okay, and get rid of that. Okay, let's go to the map view, because it lets me get rid of that. And we'll plot the intercept with the MUN. We'll fly by it as low as possible. Don't want to hit it, obviously, but we'll try and get as close as possible. Okay, so the TLI or TMI has been plotted. We've got 37.5 kilometers at periapsis. We're already locked onto the maneuver node, so we've got a few more minutes and then we shall begin the burn. Okay, finish the TLI or the TMI. 1.4 days. We'll take a look at the map, seeing exactly where we are. I need to sort of correct it mid-course, but that's not an unusual thing. Okay, so it looks like we've got a little bit of an overburn. We've got 69.453. We should loop underneath the MUN. And then back round clockwise and then back and figure eight. So it's a free range, it's a free return trajectory. Nearly said free range then. Free return trajectory. So we don't need to do anything at all, just fly straight past. We'll come back to here. Obviously we need to burn as we leave the influence of the MUN on the way back to bring the periapsis down to the atmosphere. Okay, currently at just over 90 kilometres. Closest approach is about 69 kilometres. So this is the first Kerbal to set his eyes, at least not cameras, but his eyes on the Mon. At least close up. So that's Racing Kerman's training mission completed. There's no explore the Mon mission for orbiting it, because we've already done that. But there is for these. I've got these explore the Mon, rendezvous 2 vessels, transfer any crew member between 2 vessels, and go on an orbital spacewalk near the Mon. Now, I could complete that, but I think that's maybe going a little bit too far for now. So I want to wait till we've got the Gemini using the Gemini spacecraft. Okay, so I want to take some science though. The first direct science we've taken with a manned vessel, if it actually lets me. Crew reports, all we've got for now. So we'll try that. Yep, auto save. Got 6 signs. We can recover it. So let's high up, the canyons look like scars across the Mon's face, which is appropriate considering how much the Mon has survived millennia after millennia. So we'll store that and we'll send that back with us. Alright. So wait till we get to about 69 kilometres and then we shall take a little snapshot. And we'll prepare to bring the periapsis down as we leave the sphere of influence of the Mon. Okay, so that's closest approach, and I will climb it away from the Mon. Need to head out. Let Racing carry on his trajectory. So it leaves the SOI of the Mon. We shall prepare to bring the periapsis around curbing down to inside the atmosphere, and then bring him back alive. Hopefully. Okay, so this is receding away from the Mon pretty rapidly now, and we've suffered a malfunction. As we bring it up. So Thor Lunar Lander RCS tanker suffered a monoprop leak. That's the first tank, so that's on the UTV just here. So that's one of these. Well, it's not that. Oh, it is that one. There we go. Okay, so the command module and its service module have been untouched. So we've lost one of the 2 tanks on the UTV monoprop. Okay, that's things that can happen. On a manned mission to the Mon, we don't want things going wrong too often. So obviously we can lose crew, ultimately. So we have to build some sort of level of redundancy. So you need multiple tanks, which is what we've got. So we've got 2 tanks. We've got the full tank in the service module, as well as 10 litres worth of monoprop in the command module as well. So we've got enough, hopefully, to be able to get us back. Okay, so on our way home, we need to burn retro. Bringing the periapsis down from 1,000 kilometres down to about, yeah, there's a bit of a kick there. It's 954 and it got a bit of a kick for some reason when we were out on the Mon. Sometimes happens, sometimes sort of moves around a little bit. So we're going to point retro. That should be the correct way. Yeah, there we go. Bring it down to about 35 kilometres. We may need to finish this burn with the propulsion system on the Mercury spacecraft itself, because I might run out of tankage on the LH2 stage. It's not a problem. Could have been if we'd have lost one of the main tanks of monoprop, but fortunately we didn't. 600. Almost out. Need to get this LH2 tank away. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll let the H2 tank go, then we'll continue the burn and finish it off with the propulsion system of the Mercury spacecraft. Okay, let's let this go. No, not like that. A second. Yeah, it keeps... Okay, undock. Okay, we'll just use the RCS for a second. Because if we start thrusting right now with the main thruster, we'll go straight into the UTV. So I'll move down a little bit, just so we don't hit it. Alright, so unfortunately it looks like the RCS thruster on the underside, just here, has failed. It's forward on, so it's forward by throttle, which means it goes where it's by the throttle. It's not actually working. It is enabled. Luckily we've still got our RCS, so we're going to bring the peroxis down around curbing with using the... well, that's actually... it'll take quite a long time. Actually, I'm going to pretend the other way. We'll turn prograde. And then bend prograde. Yeah, there we go. It's so much more powerful the... oh, there we go. So the thruster is actually working. But it's only working... it's not working on the throttle. Let's take a quick look again. Yep. So it's actually working, but it's not working on the throttle. So I've actually got it still, so... okay, that's fine. Obviously it's not fine, but it can work around it if it happens again. Strange though. Did not expect that. That's about 35 kilometres. Got plenty of monoprop. Okay, so that's Ray fully recovered after his historic manned flyby of the Mun for the first time. So we've got recovery vessels returned from a flyby of the Mun. Got 1.2 signs as well as the 6 signs we collected. So 105.4. Because we're down 75,000, but we did get the spacecraft, well, part of it back anyway. Yeah, 1,608 funds. That's not a great deal, is it? Yeah, they've gone to level... ooh, it's gained 10 experience. Excellent. Got 3... oh, it's got 3 levels now. So it's level 3. Yeah, strange enough, we've got no worlds first, though. Which is a bit strange. So we've got Research Ribbon 1. Awarded for researching 10 or more science points. He hasn't done a great deal of science collecting, so that's fine. Mun Sphere of Influence Ribbon, awarded for entering the Sphere of Influence of the Mun. Nothing for flying by though. Okay. Okay, so that opens up the possibility of doing... that's a passenger aircraft flight. Let me roll it down, if it lets me. Doing this one, which is rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of the Mun. Transfer any crew between vessels near the Mun. And go on an orbital spacewalk near the Mun. So we'll be attempting those and to do this possibly in the next episode, depending on exactly what the contracts are in there. Okay, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like it, it's appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy the content. That's also very much appreciated. Also, sharing with your friends helps the channel grow and is very, very much appreciated. Also, if you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're more than welcome to do so. Just remember, I've got an moderator team, so it can take a while for me to get to you. But I do get to you eventually. Okay, don't forget we have Discord, Facebook and Twitter. You find it to all 3 of those platforms on the banner on the front page of the channel. I spend most of my time on Twitter, so that's where you'll catch me. If you want to ask a question directly on there or see what I'm doing right now, I'm updating things like that. I do post pretty regularly, so I'm very, very, very busy. That's where you'll find me the most. Alright, so once again, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the very next episode. In the meantime, as always, take care and bye-bye.